All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. And to all the subscribers, welcome back. And in this video, I'm just going to discuss a few things. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're a subscriber, I really want you guys to be aware of this stuff. So just kind of sit back and hear me out. And when I'm showing you guys a chart or something, I want you guys to look at it so you don't miss it. But most of this is me talking, just sharing my opinion, and I want you guys to be aware. So before we jump into everything I'm going to share, I want you guys to know that I'm going to share with you guys some of the stocks I briefed on yesterday morning and this morning. Then I'm going to talk, just hear me out. And then right after, I have a few ticker symbols you guys may want to add to your watch list moving forward in these market conditions. So this is one of the stocks I briefed on yesterday, okay? And this stock was sitting at 510 when I talked about it. You could see it right here, HBP, okay? 510 currently sitting. That was around this area as it was falling. Hit a low here of 481 and took off almost $1 plus right there at 586. Now, will every single investor catch it the full-blown run? Not really, because what we're really looking for is 5 to 10%, right, on a regular day, 10 to 20% on a great day, and 20% plus is a home run. This one gave 20 to 30% after that jump. But throughout that whole run, there was plenty of room to make anywhere from 5 to 10%, 10 to 20% if you caught it on time. And even at the point where I mentioned it as it was falling, and if a stop loss does not go ahead and execute, there was more than enough room to catch that 5 to 20% opportunity. So this is just one example. Another one that I mentioned yesterday was COCP. It was sitting at 170, and I have a picture here instead of pulling up the chart so you could see it. This is when I mentioned it, pulled back to 153 and took off, giving 120% on the day, up at 344, okay? Throughout that whole run, there was more than enough room to catch 10 to 20%, 20 to 30%, 50 to 70%. I mean, you name it, all the way up. Will everyone catch it at the very top? No. That's not guaranteed, and that's not the point. The point is to become profitable and have those room, right, and likelihoods of maximizing profits and minimizing losses. And that's what we look for. Now, today's opportunity was one that was a little bit different than yesterday. It actually was a little confusing, and that sometimes happens. And I also talked about BLRX, and today it didn't give us the same result as yesterday. Yesterday it gave us 20 to 30%. Today it gave us only 5%. And I stated it, just be cautious. This ran already, okay? I don't like to really talk about stocks that already ran, even if they're potentially going to run again or not. I avoid them. They did their part. We don't hold penny stocks, or we don't hold any of the stocks that we trade daily. We trade them, right? We get in, we get out. Now, BHAT didn't do much for us, and CHMA talked about it at 398, and this was one of those that if you don't have the patience and you're not pulling up your indicators and everything, you would have been completely confused right off the bat, okay? Talked about it early on in the pre-market, falls down to a low here of 369 and took off to 446. This right here was between 20 to 40% jump on the day, okay? Close to actually 20 to 30%, excuse me, not 40%, 20 to 30% jump on the day. And this happened in just a matter of minutes, in just 10 minutes, okay? And those are the fun ones. Those are the exciting ones. Doesn't happen every day, and it's not guaranteed, but this is the stuff you got to look for when you're looking at these stocks. You get in, you get out, you ride the momentum, you look for the news, you look at the indicators, and you also look at volume, guys. So if this is something that interests you, you can join us. The link is down below, and we look forward to having you join us. So let me go ahead and share with you guys a little bit of information that I believe every investor should know, especially if you started trading after 2020 or in the year 2020 and slightly before it in 2019, but now with enough experience understanding the market. So the bull run that has happened in 2020, right, is something that is bound to have a pullback, okay? We had a nice pullback here. This was pretty healthy. So I don't know if it could be again like that or something close to it, but this run is bound to have its moment of slowing down, okay? And we've seen that in history of charts, okay? This ran here from 2011 all the way up to 2015, pulled back on 2016, and ran up to 2017. Only lasted 1 year, pulled back again. 2018 ran a little bit, pulled back again. 2019 ran again for 1 year, and then the big pullback of the 2020 crash, as they call it, right? So we've had some healthy pullbacks throughout the whole process. We have a lot of concerns when it comes to inflation concerns, and then also if stocks right now are a little too frothy, as they call it. And I want every single investor that is new into the market and a little confused on why their portfolio is not green, yet the market keeps on going up and their portfolio is sitting sideways or going downwards. It's probably because you are in hype stocks, growth stocks, tech stocks, or mostly penny stocks, guys. Penny stocks are not meant to be held. They're meant to be traded. And I know a lot of investors out there, because I've seen the comments, have actually held through, actually having profits, and now they're holding, sitting at break even, or lost most of their profit, hoping for more profits, or holding as the stock is going downwards. Now they're not in the profit. They're actually below the profit. They're at a small loss, right? So a lot of investors had plenty of opportunities, but what happens is if you don't realize that you're supposed to trade these stocks, not hold them, and it takes experience and time in the market to understand this, and these bumps either become a learning lesson or they dismotivate you. And I don't want investors to be dismotivated. There's plenty of opportunities every single day in the market. Some are better than others, and I am always looking for stocks every week to watch, and every day, guys. Over at the Patreon and Discord, you'll get full access to that. And I'm telling you guys, there's opportunities every day. As long as the market is open, there's opportunities to execute. And there's opportunities both ways. Stocks going up and going down, but it requires a lot more understanding, right? Like options and stuff. I would not tell anyone to do any options if you're still trying to understand executing, looking at stocks, writing them up, getting out profitable and stuff like that. Because options becomes a whole nother situation where whatever you put into it can actually turn to zero or even negative. If you go on margin and stuff like that, it becomes very, very risky. So I want you guys to be aware that there's opportunities every single day. Do not become discouraged or dismotivated, even if the market pulls back, guys. In the moments of a pullback, it's the beginning of the next bull run, guys. I've said it before. I said it throughout this whole entire correction. This pullback is the beginning of the next bull run, and we see it right there. Okay? So whatever pullback comes, it's the beginning of the next bull run, and I always say this. Today's prices are cheaper than tomorrow. Just look at it. This was once today, right? And this is tomorrow. Okay? And when we zoom out, this was once today, and this is tomorrow. And this is tomorrow. This was once today, and this is tomorrow. This was once today. This was all present day at some point. You need to be aware of this. Okay? The market works like that. The pullbacks are healthy. You can't get dismotivated or discouraged. It does hurt. It's your portfolio. I get it. I get it. But let's go ahead and talk about some stocks that I would want you guys to add to your watch list, okay? I want you guys to add to your watch list. It's super important to be watching these. And these are my opinions. Do your due diligence, do your research, and they do not signify that they're a buy or a sell or a hold. I am not a financial advisor, and I never am here to tell you what to buy, sell, or hold. I am here to enlighten you guys, and that's what I do every single morning at the Discord, sharing with you guys the stocks I'm watching. But just because I'm watching them doesn't mean you need to watch them or act upon them. And the weekly watch list, it doesn't mean that, because I'm watching it, you need to watch it or act upon it. And the stocks I talk about every single day towards the end of these videos to add to your watch list. It does not mean you need to act upon it, but for the most part, I do tend to find stocks that are either undervalued at the moment, beaten down, or showing signs of weakness, which will have a turnaround with some strength, right? That's what at least I try to do. So let's go ahead and see here what's going on. So the first one I want to share with you guys is Skills, guys. Skills has been beaten down. We talked about this one time after time before this run, and it hit a low here of $12 and it ran up. Okay, I talked about this one on Patreon since it was $17. Talked about it again at $15. Talked about it here on YouTube, $14, $12. Ran up to $19 plus, hitting a high of almost $22, and it's pulling back now. Okay, Kathy Wood has been loading up through the process, and if you believe in this stock and you've done your research, in the long run, there's potential here, guys. SKLZ. Now, another one that's been beaten down after earnings and analysis ratings are actually being upgraded as this stock is going down is AMD, guys. And AMD is getting close to those March lows and even their lows from November, back in September. This is getting very interesting the closer it gets to these levels, guys. And even if it breaks through it, even bigger opportunity, guys, just because the microchip, shortage is going on, and then, inflation scares, tech stocks, and growth stocks falling. This is all an opportunity because the upside potential is there based off of analysis ratings, the fundamentals, and the company itself. I mean, look at those earnings right there and everything about the stock. It's been beating earnings. They are much more profitable than ever, and they're now a competitor to Intel. Before they weren't. They were a competitor, but when I say they're a competitor, I mean they're head-to-head, and their chips are being used as the cheaper chips to use than NVIDIA for Bitcoin mining and stuff. So they have so much going for them in the long run. But it is something to watch. We'll have to see. Maybe the Bitcoin craze also starts to fall, and then the stock falls with it. We'll have to see if that affects it. But this stock overall, beyond Bitcoin mining, I mean, just overall their company and their fundamentals of growth and everything in the charts, I mean, there's potential. And analysis ratings are pointing to the upside. Okay, that's one stock to add. Another stock, too, that's been beating up tremendously, guys, is Plug. Okay, Plug is unprofitable, so that's the high risk. You're investing in the future, number one. Number two, this is still a technology that's in the works, and they are bound to become something big in the sector that they're in, right? They are going to have a big impact. So this is one to watch very carefully as inflation comes in, as, fears start to come in, and these stocks continue to pull back. If they do, this is definitely one to watch. And this is a double bottom here, right? It hit a low here of 23.24, bounced up to 29.30, fell back down to 23.24, and now the question is, will it break through and hit newer lows, or a double bottom before it bounces again for a small run? So this stock's been beaten down, certainly one to watch. Now, another one that I've talked about over at the Patreon is QuantumScape, guys. QuantumScape, again, has to do with the same sector, just a little different. Plug Power has to do with hydrogen fuel and hydrogen battery producing energy. This has to do more with a solid state drive, and this is going to change the game, guys, when it comes to recharging batteries and companies together, coming together to make better cars, and just the power output and input of these batteries can make a big impact on the sector alone and overall. Now, QuantumScape had a big run because it's supposedly backed up by Bill Gates and other institutional investors, and it hit a high here of 133. That was a very wild run. Came back down to realization to the 40s, came back up to the 70s. It was trying to consolidate between $40 and $70, and now it collapsed, and it hit a low here of $29 and some change. Now it's going in that direction. It could probably double bottom again before another jump, or we have to see if it breaks through it, and if it does, it can get back down closer to 20, 25, and that's something to really watch moving forward. But again, this is a company that's not profitable yet. It's working on its innovation and product, and it's said to be the best one when it comes to a solid state drive company overall right now and product. So this is definitely one to watch, and this is the future, guys. You want to remember, when you're investing in these stocks, you're investing in the future, and there's still a lot to be done before these stocks actually show improved results. But through the speculation and hype, catching them at their weakness could be an opportunity. Now, another stock I want to share with you guys that has actually been, showing some strength and then falling back down and showing some strength is MP Materials, guys. And it's in the same sector as QuantumScape and so forth. Now, NP Materials hit a high here of the 50s, and it finally found some bottom here. Now, we want to see if this can continue or it will pull back, but it seems like it hit a bottom here at $26, and it had been a while since it touched the $20 mark below it, all the way back here since January and even December. Now, this stock has to do with rare earth, and rare earth will be vital to do everything that is needed to make these solid state drives, batteries, and batteries overall, and different parts for EV cars, guys. So this is going to benefit big time as that becomes a norm and the materials are needed and they roll out. Now, it hit a high here of the 50s, pulled back, and this big pullback here was because of an offering, consolidated, weakness, and now it's running back up. This is definitely a stock to watch moving forward if it consolidates or continue to build momentum, and if it pulls back, even more interesting to watch moving forward, guys. So these are some of the stocks right now on my list. Now, I have many more. It's about 30 plus ticker symbols. If you want to gain access to the full watch list, you can see all the posts over at the Patreon. You're more than welcome to join us. And by joining the Patreon, you'll also gain access to the Discord, where I talk about the ticker symbols I watch daily and we look for home runs. But if we don't hit home runs, we're usually looking for 5 to 10% on a regular day, and on a great day, 10 to 20%, guys. And we're 100 plus members, intelligent, smart investors, all collectively aiming towards one goal: to maximize profits and minimize losses. So if it's something that interests you, you're more than welcome to join us, and we look forward to having you join us. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.